Chemical kinetics. Chemical kinetics. Dear students, this is 4th unit in your plus 2 syllabus. The most of the state boards also, it is in the same sequence, particularly in AP Telangana state boards. This is 4th unit. In our previous class, that is in 11th standard or junior intermediate, we studied stoichiometry, chemical equilibrium and thermochemistry. In the present topic, in the present standard in your this year, that is in the 12th class, you are going to study chemical kinetics. Chemical kinetics is a branch of science in chemistry, particularly, which explains the relationship between, that is, which explains the influence of influencing factor over the rate of a chemical reaction. What is rate? Rate means the speed. In detail, later we will discuss it. Rate means the change in the concentration of a reactant and a product in a given unit time is said to be rate of the reaction. So, there are certain factors which influence the rate of the reaction. So, the influence of those factors, how they influence, is studied in this present context. We know, for example, if you take a chemical reaction, for example, CaCO3, on heating it will give us calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. Now, this is a chemical equation. Here the right side is represented right side is the reactant and these are the products. So, chemical reaction, that is in the stoichiometry topic which we discussed earlier in your previous class, that stoichiometry will give us only information what amount of calcium carbonate dioxide. That is the only information that was given by that stoichiometric ratios. Now we studied a topic, that is equilibrium topic. There we studied to what the reaction will proceed. That means, suppose if you take 100 grams of calcium carbonate, whether the total calcium carbonate is completely composed to give calcium oxide and carbon dioxide, or what percentage is that it composed to give this thing. So, to what extent the reaction will take place is explained in. Then the third thing, whether the reaction which we are representing here, is it possible? If it is possible, at what conditions it is possible, is explained by thermodynamics or thermochemistry, or sometimes it may be called as chemical energetics. So, the stoichiometric ratios, how much amount of reactant can give how much product, can be explained or can be known from the knowledge of stoichiometric proportions. With the knowledge of equilibrium, to what extent the reaction will take place and what amount of product can formed, at what conditions can be explained, are known through the topic equilibrium which we discussed earlier. And whether the reaction is feasible or not, if it is feasible, at what conditions it is feasible, and what are the required conditions for to take place that reaction, is studied in thermochemistry, dynamics, chemical energetics, whatever you call it. Now, in the present case, what we are saying on those three topics, we are not discussing about the speed of the reaction. How, what, and at what speed the reaction carried out. When, because reactions will take a lot of time to completion, some reactions will complete instantaneously. So, what is the role played by the influencing factors over the speed of the chemical reaction or the rate of the chemical reaction can be understood by this topic, that is chemical. See the time taken for the clotting of blood. It is a life and death problem. You know, when accidents are happen to a car, nowadays cars are having airbags. There also time of the reaction is more important, because whenever there is an impact for a car, the driver is safe, a passenger is safe only when airbags are open. What is the reaction that involved in those airbags? What happens? We know what happens if airbags is not open. But how they are opening, how they are functioning, it's completely based on chemical reaction. Because in automobiles, in airbags, it consists of sodium azide. When a car make an impact, it gives some spark inside the airbag, which flashes or initiate the reaction of decomposition of sodium azide to give sodium liquid and N2 gas. This reaction is initiated within 10 seconds. Within 30 seconds, 10 milliseconds. In 30 milliseconds, the total airbag is filled and it will give protection to you. And again, in 150 milliseconds, it is inflated, so that some pores, small pores were present in that airbags, so that it will be unflatted, so that the passengers are rescued. So here in airbags we have sodium azide and ferric oxide. Now here the sodium, which is liberated in the initial reaction, immediately reacts with ferric oxide and oxidizes as sodium oxide and ferrous. So these reactions will take place instantaneously. Within fraction of seconds or milliseconds, the reactions are going to be completed. If they are delayed, then we have no life. So time is life. So in the present topic, we are going to studying the influence of influencing factors over the time taken for the completion of a chemical reaction. This we call as rate of the reaction. So based on the time taken for the completion, after initiation of the reaction to complete the reaction, that basing on the time taken to complete it, chemical reactions may be classified into three types. They are very fast reactions, very slow reactions, and moderate rate reactions. What are those? Very fast reactions. Number 2, very slow reactions. Number 3, moderate rate reaction. Very fast reaction, just now we discussed about the reaction that takes place in the airbags of automobiles. Sodium azide, just with a spark, it is completed within milliseconds. Similarly, when an acid is added to a base, and fraction of the reaction is going to be completed. Similarly, precipitation reactions. When two solutions, for example, if you add AgNO3 to BaCl2, AgCl is precipitated immediately, within fraction of seconds AgCl is precipitated. Or if you add sodium sulfate salt, if you add barium chloride, then barium sulfate is precipitated out immediately, within fraction of seconds the reaction is going to be completed. Such reactions are said to be very fast reactions. And another type of reaction is very slow reaction. Very slow reaction. It takes weeks, months or years together for its completion. For example, if you take rusting of iron, all of you have experienced it. If you take a iron, if you keep it there, after time you will find some red coating or red on the surface of the iron material. That is because the iron Fe which is present here is oxidized as ferric oxide and makes a layer on the surface of the iron. But you will observe it after some, but if you sit in front of it, you will not observe the change in a given time. That means it takes lot of time for the completion of the reaction. So such reactions which take lot of time for its completion are said to be slow reactions, very slow reactions. So kinetics means study the influence of influencing factors over the rate of a chemical reaction or over the speed of a chemical reaction. Now if the reaction is very fast or very slow, you cannot study the influence of influencing factors. So kinetics of such reactions, to study the kinetics of such reactions is not at all possible. But there are certain reactions which are complicated or which takes nearly 20 minutes to or 23 hours for its completion. So for such reactions we can study their kinetics, because kinetics is not a theoretical study. We have to practically conduct the experiment by changing the influencing factors. That means in one time you have to do the reaction should take place, because influencing factors are concentration, temperature and pressure. These are the main three factors which determines the rate of a chemical reaction. Now what you have to do? You have to study the influence of these influencing factors. You have to do the experiment in several times with different conditions. For example, take a reaction. If you want to study effect of temperature, then what you have to do? First the reaction should be carried out in 25 degrees centigrade. See how much time it was completed. Different intervals you have to take the concentration. It should be tabulated. Then result, and at 30 degrees again, at 50 degrees to do, at 60 you have to do the same thing. So at different temperatures we have to take the time that should altogether it has to be computed to get the net result. Similarly, if you want to study the pressure effect, you have to conduct at 0.5 atmospheres first, then 1 atmosphere, then 2 atmospheres, then 3 atmospheres. At different pressures, at different time intervals, you have to take the concentration of reactants and products, and you have to compute it, and what percent of reactant is converted and to product. Similarly, when you are concentration, you have to take different concentrations At what initially you should take, suppose if you take 0.5 molar concentration, what is the rate? Then you have to take 1 molar concentration, what is the rate? Then you have to take 1.5 molar concentration, what is the rate? If two reactants are present, you have to change the concentrations of the both simultaneously, or keeping one into constant and change, so that no, you have to repeatedly have to do the experiment with the different conditions on all results, then only you have an idea regarding the kinetics of the chemical reaction. That's why it is not possible to determine the kinetics of very fast reactions and very slow reactions, because it is not possible to take the to record these conditions at different conditions. It is not possible to record the concentrations of reactants and products with time, because one reaction is completed within seconds and other reaction will take some years together. So, it is not possible to compute the result with the different conditions. So, we can study the kinetics of the reaction only when the reaction is carried out with a moderate rate. That means the reaction after initiation, it should complete after 20 minutes and it should be completed before 2-3 hours. Then only we can conduct the reaction in different conditions and take different readings, and we can study the effect of those affecting effects, that is the influencing factors. We study, understand the effect of those influencing factors over the rate of a chemical reaction. Now we are going to discuss about rate of a chemical reaction. Rate of a chemical reaction means the speed of the chemical reaction or the velocity of the chemical reaction with which it proceeds. The rate of a chemical reaction can considered in terms of either the decrease in the concentration of reactants or either increase in the concentration of any one of the product. In a unit time is considered as rate of the reaction. Rate of the reaction is the decrease in the concentration of any one of the reactant or increase in the concentration of any one of the reactant in a unit time is called as rate of the reaction. So, for better understanding, let us consider a hypothetical reaction in which capital R gives capital P, where R represents reactants whereas P represents the products. Now, in this chemical reaction, let the reaction is carried out at constant volume, and at a time T1 the concentration of reactant is R1 and concentration of product is P1, and at a time T2 again if you observe, the reaction of the reactant is found to be R2 whereas the concentration of the product is found to be P2. At T1 time, at time T1, the concentration of reactant is found to be R1 and product concentration is found to be P1. At T2 time, it may be second or minute or hour, whatever the unit that you are going to take. The concentration of reactant is found to be R2 and concentration of product is found to be P2. Now, the change in the concentration delta T, delta R is equal to R2 minus R1. Delta R is equal to R2 minus R1. R2 is final concentration, R1 is initial concentration. Whereas delta P is change in the concentration of product, it is P2 minus P1. P2 is the final concentration and P1 is the initial concentration. And duration of the reaction, delta T is considered to be T2 minus T1. Now here, in the case of reactants, in any chemical reaction, the concentration of reactant will decreases when the reaction proceeds, because of that the final concentration of a reactant is always less than initial concentration. So in such cases, R2 is greater than R1, so it always a negative value. So delta R is a negative value. Delta R is negative. Now rate is nothing but change in concentration of reactant by time or change in concentration of products by time. Here, since this R is negative, delta R is negative, rate is positive. So to make this rate positive, we have to keep minus sign before this expression. That means rate is equal to minus delta R by delta T. This negative sign is meant to make the rate as a positive value, because rate is always positive. Delta R is nothing but R2 minus R1, final concentration of reactant minus initial concentration of the reactant. For reactants, final concentration is always less than initial concentration, because with time the concentration of reactant is decreasing. So delta R value will become negative. So to avoid that, if you simply write delta R by delta T, you will get rate as negative value. So to make rate as positive value, we will keep minus sign while expressing the rate in terms of reactants, but rate is always positive. So this will be like this. So rate is this. This is the expression of the rate of a chemical reaction. That means the change in the concentration of reactant or change in the concentration of a product in a unit time is known as rate of the reaction. Let us see how to express the rate of the reaction mathematically. Mathematically, because it gives us in most of the chemical reactions, the concentrations are changed with time. The unit of time may be seconds, minutes or hours, whatever. The basing on the experimental conditions will take unit time and concentration in moles per liter. So how to express the rate of the reaction in its basing on the stoichiometric equation of a given chemical reaction? Here we have certain variations while expressing the chemical reactions mathematically. That is, it depends upon the coefficients of the stoichiometric equation. For example, if coefficients are same coefficients, both sides, both reactants and products all are same coefficients, because if they have same number of moles are involved and same number of moles are formed, in such cases we won't face any problem to express the rate. Simply we can express it like this. For example, NO2, CO2 plus NO. nitrogen dioxide is converting into nitric oxide. So, here we can express the rate of this reaction with respect to any one of the reactant or any one of the product, because 1 mole of NO2 react with 1 mole of CO and it will gives us 1 mole. If 2 moles are reacting, 2, 2, 2. If 3 moles are reacting, 3, 3, 3. So, in a given interval of time, the change in the concentration of any one of the reactant or any one of the product is the same. So, change in concentration by time is rate of the reaction. So, we can express the rate of the reaction particularly with this, we can express the rate with respect of any reactant or any product. So, mathematically if you want to express it, we can write it like this: rate is equal to minus D concentration of NO2, that is delta concentration of this change in the concentration of NO2 by delta T, change in the time duration. Similarly, minus delta concentration of CO, this is change in the concentration of CO by delta T, or change in the concentration of CO2 by delta T, or change in the concentration of NO by delta T. So, here these two are reactants and these two are products. These two disappear during the chemical reaction. These two are formed during the chemical reactions or appear in the form of chemical reaction. Now, the rate can also be defined or expressed in terms of rate of disappearance of any one of the reactant or rate of disappearance of as a rate of appearance of any one of the product. So, here while expressing the rate with respect to reactants, we use negative sign. With respect to products, we will use positive sign, because products concentration is increasing and reactants concentration is decreasing. When it is decreasing, final concentration is always less than initial concentration. So, delta means delta of concentration of reactants means final minus initial. Since final is less than initial, R value, delta R value will be minus. In such cases, rate is appear in a negative value, but rate is always positive. To avoid that, we give negative sign to the rate expression when we are expressing the rate in terms of reactants. But in the same case, if the stoichiometric proportions are differ, we have to represent the reaction in a different manner. For example, in this particular reaction, we have 1 mole of hydrogen and hydrogen, and when they are reacting with each other, 2 moles of HI is forming. Now, if 1 mole of I2 is reacting with 1 mole of H2 is reacting with 1 mole of I2, 2 moles of HI is formed. For this change, let it take 10 minutes. So, delta T is 10 minutes. The change concentration of H2 is 1 mole, that is decrease in the concentration of H2, because if 1 mole of H2 is take part into the reaction, the reactant concentration is decreased by 1 mole. So, the decrease in the concentration of H2 is 1 mole, decrease in the concentration of I2 is 1 mole, but the amount of HI formed because of this is 2 moles. Suppose just like in the previous case, if you write just the change, now what is delta R? 1. So, rate, if you write like this, this is 1 by 10, With respect to I2 it is 1 by 10, and with respect to Hi it is going to be 2 by 10. So, if you observe, rate is 0.1 mole per minute. With respect to rate is 0.1 mole per minute, whereas with respect to Hi, rate is 0.2 moles. So, it is not correct. The rate is constant, rate is same. Either you express the rate in terms of any one of the reactant or any one of the product. Here this 1 mole and 2 moles are not the rate. This is number of moles of appearance. This is number of moles of disappearance of I2. This is number of moles of disappearance of H2. So, disappearance is different from rate of the reaction. Rate is always same. It is irrespective of either you are taking reactants or products or any one of the reactant or any one of the product. It is always constant. So, to make this true, what we have to do while expressing the rate, particularly when different stoichiometric proportions, when the reactants and products are in different stoichiometric proportions, while expressing the rate, the coefficient that present in the balanced equation should be taken as a fraction while expressing the rate of a chemical reaction. So, for this particular reaction, the rate should be expressed like this: rate is equal minus delta concentration of H2 by delta T is equal to minus delta concentration of I2 by delta T is equal to, here in the stoichiometric reaction you have 2, coefficient 2 before Hi. So, while expressing the rate with respect of Hi, you should write 1 by 2 delta concentration of Hi by delta T. So, 1 by 2 into change in the concentration of Hi by delta T. In general, for any stoichiometric equation, let a equation A moles of A when react with B moles of B gives C moles of C plus D moles of capital D, then rate will be expressed like this: rate of this reaction is equal to minus 1 by A delta concentration of A by delta T is equal to minus 1 by B, because these two are reactants. So, you have to use minus sign. 1 by B delta change in the concentration of B by delta T is equal to 1 by C delta concentration of C by delta T is equal to minus 1 by D change in concentration of D by delta T. Sorry, you should not write minus here, because these two are products, they will have positive sign. Since these two are negative reactants, you will have negative sign before the rate expression. N2 plus 3H2 gives 2NH3. Now, we can express the rate in terms of nitrogen, in terms of hydrogen, or in terms of ammonia. If you want to express this rate, all these terms, it will be like this: is equal to minus delta concentration of N2 by delta T is equal to minus 1 by 3 change in the concentration of H2 by time is equal to 1 by 2 change in the concentration of NH3 by delta T. For any reaction, whether it is a complete reaction or an ionic reaction, we will have the coefficient as a fraction in the rate expression. This is the mathematical expression of rate of a reaction. Now, let us see one numerical problem to better understand of this concept. Remember, I am repeatedly telling you several times, I repeatedly intimating you that numerical problems, particularly in physical chemistry, you will have numerical problems. These numerical problems are not to suffer you. It is meant to make you better understand the concept. If you carefully, interestingly observe the numerical problem, most of the doubts that you are going to get is clarified if you observe a single problem. So, that is why numericals are given in physical chemistry. In physics, you will have so many numerical problems. 80% problem, 80% concepts are asked you in the form of problems, numerical problems only, because to learn the concept or to evaluate the concept, numerical will give a lot of information. That is why it is most important. Do not fear about numericals, just you try to love numericals so that it is easy for you while facing the competitive examination.